How to build a salve, or 6 steps to make an out of this world salve. Step 1, waxes and butters. This is a really good place to start. There are several types of waxes. The main one I use is beeswax, but there are also other types of non-beeswax waxes. Beeswax comes in 2 forms. The first form is like this, usually in a 1 or I think this is a 1.5 ounce beeswax pellets, which are really great because then you don't have to grate your beeswax. Butters are softer than beeswax. There are several different kinds of butters. Shea butter, cocoa butter. Cocoa butter can come as a chunk or as a wafer, which makes it a lot easier to work with. And then the shea butter just sort of looks like this. There's also mango butter, and there are many other butters. 2, oils. There are many carrier oils that you can choose from to go into your salve. There's almond, olive, avocado, coconut, sunflower, and lots more. Plus, there are a lot of infused oils that you can put in your salve. Infused herbal oils are made by infusing herbs like calendula or plantain in carrier oils like olive or sunflower. The oil is infused for 6 weeks, and then the plant material is strained out. This creates a gentle oil that contains the healing elements of the calendula or plantain. 3, essential oils. I like to think of essential oils sort of like the sprinkles on a cupcake or the garnish on a meal. The basic way an essential oil is made is a lot of plant material is distilled, and the resulting oil is super concentrated, active constituents of the plant. So it's super strong, a little goes a long way, and most essential oils you cannot put directly on your skin. You need to dilute it into carrier oil, or you can use it in a salve. You're gonna put like a couple drops into a salve. Your basic tools. It's good to have a pot with a pour spout, a scale. You don't need an expensive one. This one is pretty cheap, and it works for the most part. You need a box grater. If you can't find or decide not to buy beeswax in the pellet form, you're gonna need a box grater to grate it. You can just like cut it up into large chunks, but it takes a while to melt, and so like the extra step to grate the wax is just totally worth it. Paper towels are awesome. I use the paper towels when I'm all done after I've poured my salve into the salve jars. I just give my pot a quick wipe, because after that it's so much easier to wash. If you wait until like the oil and the beeswax that's left in your pot, the residue kind of hardens, then it's really hard to get out. This is a little pipette. It's really good for essential oils. The essential oil bottle has a little top that you can turn upside down and it will drop 1 drop of oil, but it's really hard to control because sometimes it'll just drop a whole bunch in your pot and you've got way too much. So what I do is I take the top off, and then I put this in the bottle, and then you can just really easily control with this little bulb how many drops you want. Measuring cup. You can use a big one. This is a 5 ounce little glass measuring cup. All your tools need to be very dry because you don't want to introduce water into your salve because you could have like an issue with it molding. Number 5, jars. This is a salve jar. This is a 1 ounce glass jar with a aluminum top, but there's 2 ounce, 4 ounce, half an ounce. You can find them in glass, in plastic, or in a paperboard. 6, putting it all together. So first, I have to figure out what type of salve I want to make. I want to figure out what it's going to be for and who's going to use it. The oil to wax to butter ratio determines the hardness or the softness of your salve. A lot of people do this test where right before you're going to pour your salve into your jars, and also before you add essential oil, you want to take a metal spoon and dip it in your salve, and then you can put it in the freezer for a few minutes, and then you can see the consistency of the salve, how it would be once it hardened. So you can tell, oh, I need to add more oil, or oh, it's too soft, I need to add more wax. The first time you make a salve, you really just want to make a small batch, and I always do 1 ounce of oil to even just a little over 1/8 of an ounce of beeswax, which is like 0.14, and that will make you have like a kind of a soft salve. And it's a good way just to test, see if you like the salve, because you don't want to make 4 ounces of salve and be like, oops, I don't like it. You want to melt everything on really low heat because you don't want to cook your salve. And I just like have the heat low, and I sort of have the pot a few inches above the burner, and I just sort of swirl it around like really slowly. Now you know the basics, and you can make almost any kind of salve you want. Bye!